I don't know why it always kicks me out of here on Facebook once I'm trying to go live on more than one page. Workshop. What's going on, YouTube? I have not been on for a while. It's tax time, so y'all already know a sister is busy. Um, all right, I'm not gonna worry about getting on Facebook. I'm just gonna do YouTube tonight. So I have some topics that I don't, but I'm not gonna go over them tonight because I figure it's not gonna be a lot of you all on. With it being Friday evening and Valentine's Day, some people are probably out. So I'm gonna save the information that I have for tomorrow. I'm gonna come on earlier in the day, maybe like 3, 4 o'clock. Um, and we're gonna do this breakdown regarding the tax update or the tax update that it might or may not happen this year. You know, Trump has a lot of things that he wants to do, but it has to get passed by the Congress and the Senate first. So as a lot of as I like to tell y'all, I don't like to talk about stuff that's not in law. But I do want to break down and go over this Tax and Job Cuts Act because if this stuff is not extended, then you all's taxes will be completely different than what you normally are used to them being, right? Um, so that Tax and Jobs Cuts Act is what we call it. It's from the 2017 when he was in office. It was called the Tax and Job Cuts Act. That actually increased millions of people's tax returns. A lot of people don't really realize that. But your taxes changed completely in 2017 when he did get in office because he changed a lot of how you're taxed, right? And it actually saved a lot of money. You actually get back more money than you were ever getting back, right? So I want to break that down more so that way you all can actually understand because what they're trying to do right now is revise that act because it expires this year, right? So all of those tax increases, tax deductions, tax credits that were given during that time frame, it expires at the end of this year for 2025. So if that does not get rolled over or extended, you all will see a major difference in tax returns next year. So we're going to break that down. I'm going to go over that and break that down because I don't think a lot of people actually know that. Me, I like to stick to the numbers, right? To the facts, to what's real versus people being in their emotions and feelings, about whatever president's in office. I like to go over how it affects you, right? And that's what we're going to go over. How is it going to affect you if these changes happen? If these changes don't happen, how is it also going to affect you, right? That's what you want to be aware of. It is Black History Month, right? So I know I've shared like a couple of little videos here and there. Um, my social media guy doesn't want me to post a whole lot of different stuff that's not in line with my channel, right? But I'm gonna definitely be still posting some stuff and sharing some of these videos that share Black history, right? Especially the stuff that you weren't taught in school. But other than that, y'all, life is lifing. I'm working. You see where I'm at in the office. I'm getting ready to get out of here shortly since it's snowing here again in Chicago, and I want to get home before this storm comes down too bad. Um, Tomorrow is also Big Business Saturday. So my first appointment is at 11 a.m. I'm going to try to get down here by 10 a.m. so I can do Big Business Saturday on live with y'all. Lately I've been doing Big Business Saturday on my own. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Luckily I got a truck and I could put it in snow mode, and I have not had any problems with my truck being in snow mode when I'm driving, but I'm definitely careful because I could look out the window and see that it's slick. They haven't came through and uh, oh, there we go. As I speak, I was about to say they haven't came through with the snowplow truck, but he's literally going across the bridge right now. So when I get out there, hopefully 35th will be cleared up and clean, and then I'll be careful the rest of the way, of course. But what was I gonna say? I do have an update for my business owners tomorrow for Big Business Saturday. There are a couple of grants that are available. So I'm going to share a couple of those grants that you all can apply for this month, the month of February, right? What else? What else? What else? Like I said, I'm gonna wait on the tax updates because it's Friday night, and I know most of you all, more people, I'll say, not most, some of you all are on here watching me. Hello, welcome. Some of you all are chilling. It's just another day. I don't really celebrate these man-made holidays, anyway. Plus, a lot of people don't know that Valentine's Day actually was started from a massacre. Valentine's Day did not start from being, love, right? Which is what they turned it into to make people buy all this crap on this day, right? Make y'all spend all y'all money on cards and balloons and flowers. But those of y'all in relationships, enjoy yourself, all right? Enjoy yourself. I've been single a very long time, so these little holidays don't mean anything for me. That's why I'm here in this office getting to my bag. but but one day that will change, right? But I still don't focus on these man-made holidays like that. They're literally for y'all to spend y'all money. So um for the people that are out and enjoying themselves tonight, be safe, be careful out there. But yeah, that's it. I don't really have a whole lot. I don't know why my mind, I just feel like I can't think of nothing right now. I think it's because I've been looking at numbers all day. And so y'all know during tax time, I used to get on here at this time, like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and host these little powwow sessions with you. But tonight I'm so mentally drained, I don't even know what to say. I don't have anything to say really. I'm just sitting here like, hey, what's up? How's your month going? How's your week going? How's your day going? And that's it. And people are texting me. Well, not texting me because nobody has my number no more. But people are messaging me about their tax return that I already filed. Who's on here? Mr. Allen say, hey, Rhonda Jefferson. Say happy Friday. Happy Friday. Mr. Allen say, me either. If it's a fake day, mean I love you, I'm cool. It is a fake day. It is. I think, people get caught up too much in that. I know one of my clients got in trouble because he forgot about it. Because he wanted to come get his taxes done tonight, and his wife was like, hello, it's Valentine's Day. And he like, I want to come and file my taxes. So let me keep that on. But everything is fake, right? I mean, everything is made up, we should say. I mean, all of this stuff. Christmas, Thanksgiving, right? All of that is man-made holidays, right? None of this stuff is real. Because how you celebrating Jesus' birthday in Easter, but then on Christmas you talking about Jesus was born? Make it make sense. You get what I'm saying? This is why I don't deal with societal norms. That's why I don't follow society and how society works. That's why I do my own thing, because you'll be following the wrong crowd, listening to society and what they tell you to do, right? But Mr. Allen, at least you saving some money because you say this is a fake day. If I love you, I'm cool. Yeah, love, you show love every single day, right? I personally, that's just me. I'm not into all of that stuff. I'm not your average female either. I don't do a lot of shopping and clothes, and I don't think the way the average female thinks that I feel like how I see a lot of females think. I'm not that. I'm completely different. So it's different for me. It's not a big deal for me. It's not a big deal at all. Um I think I'm just gonna get off because I feel like I have brain freeze. Like all I see is numbers. And I got all these cards that I need to go through on my desk. But it's been a day. It's been a week. Very productive week though. We've got a lot done in process. Um, for those of you all that are in my private community, we had class last week. This week I went live. No one showed up to class. So that was okay. I didn't really have to do much because no one showed up. And that's the paid community. So those of you all who are in the paid community, I would, tell you to log on. We send emails out. We let you know when I'm going live. We let you know when we're having sessions. We let you know when we're having interviews. Like last week with Study Hall with Chuck. And I think Chuck said nobody logged on too. So I mean, we just got people paying for the monthly membership and then aren't showing up for the information, right? Um, so I want y'all to remember that to check your emails and to log into your account because you have over 50 videos in the membership that you have access to that you're able to go back and watch the content. So we uploaded the live study hall session with Chuck from last week, and then we'll upload my live. I just gave y'all some tips on there regarding some credit stuff. I think I was on there less than 10 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then I got off because nobody showed up. So I can't do a live Q&A session when I don't have anybody to do a live Q&A session with, right? So in the, what's this? We already in February, right? So I'll have another live scheduled at the end of the month for the community. So if you're in the private monthly membership group, all right, what school won't teach you? I want y'all to actually go in there and look at the information and read the information and watch the video content, right? That's the whole point of you signing up for it, to learn what school won't teach you, right? So we got business topics in there, credit topics in there, tax topics in there. We have interviews with other business owners to show you some different ideas how you can get into starting other businesses, like getting into federal government contracting. I love that interview that we did with Coach Jay. That's a way for you all to be able to learn about federal contracting, how you can start doing federal contracting, how you can start your own business getting into federal government contracting. Okay. Because after this year, that's more what I'm focusing on. I'm getting out of this tax seat. Y'all will not see me in this tax seat next year. Someone else will be sitting here. Hopefully, if not, then I'll be moving on to bigger and better things. It's time to pivot. Um, the tax industry has just gotten so crazy, and you have all these schemers and scammers now today out here that is so much misinformation. I'm tired of having the same conversation every day with somebody because I have to debunk a lie that the scammers done told y'all. And just today, with the mindset of a lot of people that we have, people just slow. I hate to say it that way. If everybody think, what glitters is gold, right? Um, so you got a lot of fraud. You got a lot of people that's messed up, that tax returns need to be fixed. Like it's just real different now in the industry. that it wasn't like that before. Like, it's overly saturated with people who don't know what the hell they're doing. Seriously. And so you got a lot of people out here that's just putting whatever in the tax system, and it's really messing things up for those of us that are actually following the rules and the laws. And it's frustrating. You know what I mean? It's frustrating. So with federal government contracting, I've known about federal government contracting for like 12 years now. And I have several clients that actually do it, that have made six figures. Some have made $1 million doing federal government contracting. So for me, I'm ready to pivot into that field and arena. But that's a video that we have over there in the membership for you all, as well as other videos. I mean, we've done several interviews with different professionals. I like Jerry Tolliver's interview. Jerry is a credit specialist. She's a business credit specialist. So she talked to us about building your business credit, fixing your personal credit as well. I'm just going off the top of my head with some of the video content that we have. But like I said, it's over 50 video modules in there, right? With all different type of topics on financial topics. So if you're in the community, utilize it, right? I hate that y'all be paying for something and then you're not even accessing the information. So that's when someone asked me that, like, Patrice, you just get on here and you just tell everything. Well, what I'm holding back for? Because the majority of y'all not even watching the content. So yeah, I'll put it out here. I'll put it in the community. But are you really gonna watch it? And then are you gonna apply the information that we just shared? So you can't say, oh, well, people being gatekeepers or people holding information. No, the information is there. And the membership last year was $47 a month. I lowered it to $37 a month to help bring more people in. So you got access to 50 different video modules for $30 a month. That's less than a damn Burger King meal. That's less than 2 Chipotle meals. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I got over that. Like, in this day and age, if you don't want no motion and you don't have no motion, it's 2025 and you still on slow motion, you don't want no motion. You don't want the knowledge and the information, because you can't say it's not out here. You can't say it ain't no way to make no money legally. You can't say it's not a way for you to boost yourself up. You can't say the man holding you down. It's too many ways to get money legally. Let me be clear, legally, legal money out here in 2025. And when you got the cell phone, baby, bye. Like, there's no excuse not to have no money coming in this day and age. If you don't have no motion, you lazy. That's it. You just lazy and you want to stay where you at. Don't make no excuses. Don't say whatever. Just say you lazy and you don't want to do nothing. Because I tell people all the time, baby, it's too many ways in 2025. We in 2025, y'all. I remember this when I was in high school in 99, when it was about to turn 2000, and they thought the lights and the power was going to shut out. They told us people was buying cases of water, just like, they called it Y2K. That's what it was called, Y2K. Everybody was freaking out in 1999 because we was going into the year 2000. So they thought the systems, the computers was going to shut down everything. It was crazy. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was hilarious, to be honest. But at midnight, everything was fine and the systems kicked over, right? But we didn't have the internet. We didn't have the internet. Life was good. Life wasn't, we didn't share our lives all over the internet. We didn't share everything we did. I loved growing up. I'm glad I'm an 80s baby. Okay. I loved growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, baby, because we lived our best life. Best life. Privately, too, right? Privately. It wasn't somebody on their cell phone ready to film you every second of the day. We had privacy, and we actually hung out. We actually met up. We actually had events. We actually had block parties. We jumped rope. We had games. Like life was good. Life was good. We didn't have guys killing each other, and even if they were fighting. Dudes actually fought back then. You know what I mean? They wasn't pulling out pieces today. We didn't have YNs, right? With switches. Like, Lord. Somebody said that on one of their videos in TikTok, the dude was like, baby, if they ever wanted to have a race war, they was like, we're not going to be like back in the days. They was like, y'all ain't have YNs with switches. I think that took me out. That just took me out when he said that. Y'all ain't have YNs with switches, which we didn't. but today's world in 2025, you got YNs with switches. Right. But they ain't doing nothing productive. They fighting each other instead of understanding to fight the system, not each other. That's a whole nother other story one day. I am doing a live with Chuck, though. Me and Chuck gonna come on here on YouTube. If not next week, we planning the week after. We're gonna do it before the end of Black History Month. I know that. But me and Chuck are gonna get on and have an open live session because we need it. We need to have a conversation with men and women, and we need some dialogue, right? So I'll be the female, Chuck will be the male, and we plan on having a real conversation, right, with our community and how things are. How can we look at some things? How can we change some things? Because we got to have some conversations, y'all. You know, something's gonna have to change. And really, I'm gonna ask y'all this. I'm on here. What did y'all think about the Super Bowl? I didn't watch the game. I'll be honest. I didn't watch. I'm not into sports. I didn't watch the game. But I did go on this YouTube channel and I pulled up what is it? I think it was a 13-minute YouTube clip of the whole of his whole 13-minute Super Bowl performance. So I wanted to know, because I posted some video in my shorts talking about the Facebook people, because the Facebook people was all on there talking about, oh, it was boring, it was trash, it was this, it was that. And now I'm gonna just say, everyone has the right to their opinion, right? Everyone has a right to their own opinion. I'm just gonna say this. My issue with what people were saying as their feedback, especially the ones who was like, oh, it's boring. Oh, this is the Super Bowl. We looking to be entertained, all of that. I'm going to just say this. Some artists use their, what's the word I want to say? Some artists use their voice to speak up. Some artists use their voice for straight entertainment purposes. If you are not familiar with Kendrick Lamar, you obviously don't know who he is, because if you don't know and understand how he is as an artist, you would not have expected him to just come and entertain, right? I expected him to have a message. I expected him to have a very big message. And I felt, in my opinion, I loved the message. I loved the presentation. I think it really went over a lot of people's heads, because a lot of people just are not critical thinkers, right? You just have some people who are just looking for entertainment. They just want to shuck and jive. They just want to dance and shake their ass. And that's the video that I posted, was a guy pretty much saying how a lot of people on Facebook mindset is. And that is true. A lot of people on Facebook have a very warped, weak mindset, right? Very programmed, which is why I like YouTube, because most of the community over here is not programmed. You're not tunnel vision. You can usually see the bigger picture, right? Or at least think outside the box. Whereas I felt a lot of people on Facebook was thinking limited. You know what I mean? And so again, I'm not a football fan, baseball fan, basketball fan. So I'm not on there expecting like, oh, I'm looking for this big entertainment, right? But for me, right? And that's why I said this to me, this conversation kind of needed to be had, and we were able to see who thinks what and how a lot of people think. Because I was able to see the people who I know and kind of talk with, we all were thinking the same thing, right? People who I really don't talk to or who party in the club every single week, who kind of post a bunch of ignorant content, those were more of the ones who was like, it was boring, it was the worst show, it don't matter, who care about the message, stuff like that, right? But people who actually have who I've had deep conversations with, intellectual conversations with, critical thinking topics, right? People who I've had that with, we all were in alignment with how we felt about the Super Bowl. And I think that's really what it is. I think it's different mindsets, right? You got some people that's over here, the party, the like to kick it, want to always be entertained mindset, right? And then the people who are like really doing some shit in life, for real, right? Business owners, like I said, intellectuals, critical thinking, artists, people who are in a creative mindset and space was over here. So it really got to show us the two different types of people that we're dealing with. But also as Black people, we have to remember we're just like everybody else when it comes to that. I think with us, we always want to for somehow lump ourselves all together, right? Because I see it all the time. If something happens, Black people be like, "Oh, why did they do that? Because now that affects the rest of us." No, it doesn't. And if anything I leave on here tonight, that's what needs to be said in the conversation that I can't wait for Chuck and I to have this month. We just got to finalize the day. It's probably going to be on a Sunday too. I think that's a better day for him. So I think we were talking about doing it on a Sunday. I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh, so one of the biggest things that Chuck and I have been talking about is we have to have this conversation on us being separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some of us that are doing certain things. There are some of us that are building, that are growing, that are successful. And then there are some of us who carry that ghetto, ignorant, nasty, dead weight mentality, right? And again, and honestly, that's in every race and culture. You got white people that's ghetto as hell, ignorant, right? And productive. Same way in the Mexican and China. You know what I'm saying? Every race and culture has it. For some reason, we're the only ones that like to lump us all together, right? And I'm like, no, we're the exact same way. We got a group of ignorant ass people, and we have a group of people who are really doing some stuff out here, who are really making change in their community or for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Um, so as far as the ones who didn't see it or felt it was boring, again, that everyone has their own individual right to their opinion, right? I don't want to knock somebody's opinion. But me personally, what I dislike about that is, what I will say is, I only really see us do that. When I say us do that, pick apart and dissect each other, right? Even when some stuff happened, I forgot what had happened, but some stuff had happened. And you won't see the other cultures getting on here and blatantly going up against their whole culture. If Kid Rock got on that stage and rocked out, you know, uh, some country rock band or something for the white people, you're not gonna see a bunch of them on there saying how bad they hated it. Even if they hated it, they're not gonna say it publicly. That's my biggest problem with us. Is even if you dislike something, it doesn't always have to be said publicly. You get what I'm saying? To me, that was my first thought, was even if I didn't like it, I liked it. But even if I didn't like it, my first mind wouldn't be to get on Facebook or to get on social media and publicly say, seeing a Black artist with an all Black dance crew of every rate, every color that we have, right? We're a rainbow of colors in the African American community, right? We got people way lighter than me to way darker than this phone, right? We are a rainbow of colors. So for him to have that, the representation that was put out, it was Black History Month. It definitely had a message. I'm not going to, the first thing I'm going to do is not get on this internet and say how whack and fucked up that was. Like, like someone from your culture just whole got on here and represented. Even again, if you didn't like it, why does it have why does it have to be addressed online that you don't like it? Because that's all it is we never look unified. We never look like we're together, right? Because you always have this back and forth constant, and honestly to me it's negative, right? You have this back and forth constant negative energy that's always out there posting. Me and who I am and my mental mindset, one, we in this white man's world. We on this white man's owned internet. Let's be clear. YouTube, I'm on here using this platform that's a white owned company. Okay. I'm not going to get on here and say certain things because it looks divisive. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to, like I said, even if I didn't like Kendrick's performance, the first thing wouldn't be to get on Facebook and be like, oh, this was horrible. Oh, this was stupid. Oh, you know what I'm like what? So again, I think that mindset, or even being conscious and aware of what you're posting and what you're putting out there and how it represents us as a community, I don't think everybody looks at it like that. I don't think everybody thinks about it that way, right? Especially this younger generation that grew up on expressing themselves on this internet, right? And again, maybe that's because I'm from an era where we did not start off with the internet. I'm from the era that everything started. Pages, beepers, cell phones, okay, all of that started in my era. To also MySpace, having internet, having access, right? So we are able to see what it was like, what life was like before all of this, going through all of this, and where we're at now. Right? Which is why I know a lot of my mentality is different. But also why a lot of my mentality is different is because I was raised by my grandmother and my grandfather, who were both civil rights leaders, right? I was raised by my father, right? So I was raised by people who were able to share with me how bad things were, to where I'm not gonna get on this white man's internet and diss my own people. Not for something like that, right? Now I get on here and I cuss some of y'all out, especially when you're doing crackhead shit, right? But at the same time, after I've cussed you out, I'm going to show you something that's going to help you or benefit your life. Or you can go through my YouTube channel and learn something, right? So again, my whole channel is not about all the bad stuff that Black people do in financial services, right? There are certain topics that I feel like definitely need to be addressed. But like, does my whole channel represent that? No, right? When you do have a lot of channels on here that represent that, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers, again, because the mindset of a lot of people is to gravitate towards negativity, gravitate towards gossip, gravitate towards BS, gravitate towards who fighting who. Like, I'm not watching fighting videos, right? I'm not watching who baby mama got into it with their baby daddy. That mindset, that's not a part of my world. I'm not a sexy red type of individual, You get what I'm saying? And again, we have to separate that. People who like the whole ratchet, ghetto, sexy red thing, that's a whole different group of Black people. That's not me and the women that I deal with. You get what I'm saying? So we have to be okay with separating ourselves and saying, yeah, that's y'all over there. And then those of us that are more trying to be progressive and productive, right? Hello, we over here. We it's a totally different mindset. And I even had to learn that. God had to tell me that. Because when I first was getting on this internet, oh, thank you, aesthetics. How are you? Yes, like I just don't understand that bothers the hell out of me. Like I was seeing so many people, I was deleting people left and right off Facebook. I got 5,000 friends. I was deleting people left and right because I'm like, your mindset don't even align with mine. Why, why are we, how are you even a friend of mine? How are you even following me? I know back in the day I just used to let anybody follow me, but today I don't allow you to follow me if I don't really know you. You can follow me, but you can't be a friend, right? A friend request, because you can follow people without being a friend. But I was deleting so many people this past week because I was looking at their page, like what they post, their mindset. Like it was this one guy, and I don't know how we've been following each other, but all he posts is like nasty videos, like sexual nasty videos, like female positions. Like I'm like, who is this porno dude? Why? Why is he a friend? Unfriend, unfollow. Like I cleaned up probably 100 people off my page this week alone, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all to do the same thing. Like certain stuff doesn't come down my timeline because I don't follow that and I don't entertain that. And if I see that, oh, I'm unfollowing you immediately. Because you're just not on the level mentally where I'm at. And it's just that simple. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But I don't watch gossiping. I don't watch reality TV shows. I let that go. Let me not act like I never did it, right? I definitely used to watch Love and Hip Hop. I used to watch The Real Housewives. I used to watch all that crap. I think it was either 2018. I think it was 2018 or 2019. I cut out all that crap. Everything that was negative, that was bad energy, that like did not represent us in a good light, I cut that out of my life. Why? Why am I watching grown women fighting at a restaurant? Y'all supposed to be millionaires. Real women with money not fighting at no restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Real women with money are not fighting at a restaurant in Atlanta, in Tampa, in Florida, wherever you at. You get what I'm saying? That's all what again is put on this TV, okay, to distract you, to keep you in a negative state. That's why so many women are mean and nasty today. I hear so many fellas talk about how some of these women are just mean and nasty. That's why. If all they do is watch, ask her what she watch on TV. If all she watches ratchet TV, fighting, what they got some reality TV show where these girls actually go to a house and fight each other all day. Like how ignorant and ghetto is that? Baby, I'm 43 years old. Baby, bye. like, you get what I'm saying? I don't know the name of the show because I don't watch it. But I've seen clips of it come through my internet. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you watch it or if you heard of it. I don't know what the show is, but it's these young girls that go in the house and they basically fighting each other all day on TV. Like that's ignorant and ghetto as hell. So if you dealing with a female fellas and that's what she like to watch, you get what I'm saying? A female that is on a different mindset mentally, we ain't watching that. I'm not watching that. I used to call that crap a guilty pleasure. That shit wasn't no guilty pleasure. That all that shit was a negative tone of how Black women look to you, right? And that's why you have so many people arguing and bickering and fighting. I'm not about to keep doing that. So you have to learn how to like cut that crap off. You got to learn to recognize it, and then you have to also learn how to cut it off. I cut the TV off. I didn't even watch TV for like 2 years straight. I think now if I do watch TV, it's like Netflix or Amazon Prime. It's like strictly movies. I don't do no type of reality TV shows. And the one reality TV show I think I was watching, it was called like Love is Blind. It was something simpy, like the dating type shows. I watch that, like Love is Blind, or what's the other one? Married at First Sight. I like that. Like where the people just get married when they first meet the person, and then you see their whole little thing. Now I may watch something like that, but watching Black women argue and fight on this internet, no, no, I would not do that. Those days are over with. And then when you do cut that type of stuff out, also, okay, I knew one of y'all was gonna say it. You say you must be talking about, that's it, baddie, straight low vibrational, baby, classic music, low vibrational as hell. And you know what? That's what it is, classic music. Um, that's exactly what it is. I'm glad you just said that low vibrational ass type stuff. That's what it is. When you really, because I didn't learn that or start talking about like vibes and vibrations until I really started meditating. I always, prayed, but when I really learned meditation, which was also 2018, because 2018 was the year that I had lost everything. I had lost my car, my house, went in foreclosure. I was living in my office that year. That's the year that everything happened. So I had to recenter myself and and reconnect with my higher power, right? Because I at that time I wasn't talking to God. I was mad at God. My father had passed away in 2013, the end of 2013, when I started my business, when I really went full time, right? Because I got let go March of 2013. My dad ended up passing away September of 2013. And I was so mad at God, I ain't talked to God no more. So from 2013 all the way to 2018, I didn't have no relationship with God, with my creator, higher power, whatever you want to call him, right? I didn't have a relationship. And my life went up and down, up and down, up and down. But then in 2018, when I was living in my office, that's when I started learning meditation. And like the power of meditation. And then I started learning how to center myself, center my thoughts, breathe, right? Also with meditation, you learn how to breathe. So that is when that came up, classic music for me. Meditation changed my life. Meditation allowed me to really learn myself, right? And my energy and how to control my energy and how to control my space and my mind, right? Like that. Like I knew that I was different. And I like to always say this. I never ever thought I was better than anybody, but I knew I was different. I knew very early that I was different, that I didn't think like everybody else around me. But that year, I really honed in, and that's when I was like, you got to let all this negativity go. You got to let go of those reality TV shows. And that's really the most negativity that I would say I had. I mean, I had some internal things that I was going through, but I also went through therapy, and I went to see a therapist and talked to a therapist for almost a year to get some of that stuff off. But that and the meditation, that's when my mind really, really changed, right? But I've always been a person that looks at like culture again, because my grandparents were civil rights leaders. So I've always looked at certain things differently than everybody else because again, I had grandparents that was there to show me and teach me and tell me how stuff was, right? So I never looked at the world for face value. I always asked questions. I always dug deeper. I never just let you can't just tell me this is how it is. I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna question you and ask you why is it that way? Right? That's always been me. But definitely, I think that helps. So I feel like if more people learn that, especially our people, like if more people learn meditation and how to center themselves, how to center their energy, how to understand their energy, right? How to understand that we are energy, like going to the park and taking your shoes off and walking and allowing your feet to touch the grass, right? Especially being born in the city, in Chicago. We city. We used to that concrete pavement, right? But we also have to learn that. Like I learned that in listening to meditation. I learned how to start going to the park in the summertime and grounding myself, right? Putting my feet to the earth. And literally I was feeling different. Like it was serious. It was real. That's real. I'm gonna tell any of y'all that. Okay, if it's snow out here right now. We can't go do that right now. Don't go out there and get yourself messed up. But if you are in a state where it's not snowing and you can still see your grass and your ground, baby, go out there. I'm telling you, just try it. Just do it. Just center yourself and walk the earth. If you don't know how to talk to God, don't even just talk. Just walk, right? But then eventually you'll learn how to start talking and saying how you feel and connecting with the energy, because everything is energy. It's real. It's real. Um, he said happy Valentine's. Thank you, classic music. Happy Valentine's Day. I was saying on here earlier, I don't really do these man-made holidays. Even when I was in a relationship, Valentine's Day was like another day. It ain't a big deal to me. But happy Valentine's Day. You know, I'm not in a relationship, so it really don't mean nothing now. But when I was, it wasn't a big deal to me, because we got a lot of man-made holidays that they like to just really make y'all spend y'all money. That's what it is. It's not a real holiday. It's just a way for them. It's just a way for society to make a bunch of money on today. Because how many people spent probably $1 billion, if not, was spent today, right? Buying cards and flowers and balloons and all this other stuff. And you really celebrating a Valentine's Day massacre here in Chicago. It actually happened. This was Valentine's Day massacre. I forgot the exact story, but basically, when who's the mob that we had here? Al Capone. In Al Capone days, they shot up like 8 to 12 people at a restaurant right outside of Chicago. And that turned into Valentine's Day. So that's why I said, like, the history, when you look at the history of the stuff that man-made has made into something, I don't know how they turned this into love, but it started off as the Valentine's Day massacre. Okay, let's just go there. But I don't know how they turned this whole massacre into now you in love and it's your love day. But again, we live in America, right? And America is a corporation and they're going to get their money. So a part of them getting their money is creating all this fake stuff for y'all to spend y'all money. So yeah. Aesthetics guru. What's going on, aesthetics? Said I've been meditating since 2012. Oh, you a vet in the game. Now look, that is a game changer right there. The clarity you get from meditation is amazing. Yes, it is. I have to touch and agree. Okay. I definitely have to touch and agree. It's different. And if y'all have never listened, so somebody who really, really empowered me, and he has a channel on here too. His name is Spiritual Tony. Have any of you all heard him? Spiritual Tony. Man, if you all have not heard him, I need y'all to go on his YouTube channel right now and go listen. Like dude was probably like on repeat the entire year of 2019 when I was rebuilding my life back. When I catch on to him, like no, I caught on to him to like 2020. all from 2020, 21, 22. I probably listened to him and all his albums probably for those 2.5 years. I'm not gonna lie. like not gonna lie. I fell in love with his music. Like he goes heavy into meditation and how we are. You are God. Okay, you are a goddess, right? You have a higher power. Okay, and you need to know that. Okay. But I love that. Like I just loved his whole music. It's straight vibes. You can just leave it and walk away. Like I love music like that. I don't have to skip songs, none of that. And he got a lot of motivating, inspiring music, right? And then he really like be talking to you, especially you brothers. Like I really like his music because he really be talking to y'all. By him being a brother, he able to express that. And so in some of his songs, like he really empower y'all. Like, man, you can do any and everything. You a god. You just need to know it. Right. I love one of these songs he got. I can't play it on here because y'all, if I play it on here, it's gonna say I'm copywriting the YouTube music. But it's one of these songs that he has. I can't think of the name of it right now. But he basically on there like he don't wear Jordans. He rock. I don't rock Jordans. I don't rock Jordans. I rock it to the flip flops. Something don't, some all my time don't. TikTok walking in the abundance. I don't worry what I don't got. That's one of my favorite songs. Oh, it's called Pick Me. Pick one. Pick one. Type that in. If you are African American male on here, even if you're not African American, you can understand. But if you really are African American man on here, listen to this song called Pick One. Type in Pick One with Spiritual Tony. I love that freaking song. Right? I love that song. Because that was me. I felt like that. Like when you in the world, especially when you grew up in the city, right? We in Chicago, we the number 3 biggest, largest city in the country. We grew up in Chicago. A lot of people here are materialistic as hell. They are, right? A lot of these people, a lot of our people are materialistic as hell. So if you're not rocking some Jordans, some Gucci, some Louis Vuitton, whatever they feel you should be rocking, right? Then they gonna think you ain't really got nothing, which is fine with me because most of the people who do that and think that way anyway are the ones who really don't have nothing. All right, that's why I call myself the female Russell Simmons because I don't do labels and all that and brands, right? I've shared that. If you see me with one, somebody bought it for me. I would never go take my hard-earned money and go and spend it at Gucci or Chanel or Louis Vuitton. I'm not finna do that, right? I would rather go buy their stock. Now, I buy some stock because I'll make money off you buying the bag. I'm not gonna go in there and buy the bag, but because you buy the bag, I'm gonna make money off you buying the bag. You know what I mean? That's more what I would rather see people doing. And I'm about to start doing some videos like that, saying instead of buying this, you could do this, right? And showing how much money you would have made instead of buying a pair of Jordans every 3 months, the same ones that they've been rotating since the 90s, because all them Jordans is the same Jordans we had back in the 90s, but that's a whole nother other story. And now they charging y'all triple the amount that we was paying. But that's a whole nother other story. But instead of you buying Jordans every 3 months, especially from a man who gives no shit about you, I don't know why black men have such a commitment to Jordan. That's another conversation that I want to have as well because I don't understand that with y'all. I really don't. I really don't understand how loyal y'all are to Michael Jordan when he doesn't give a fuck about you. Like literally hasn't poured into you, haven't done shit for you, especially here in Chicago. But that's a whole nother other story, right? But that same money that you spend every 60 days for some Jordans, your stock pal, baby, you probably could have been a millionaire by now, half a millionaire, at least 100,000 there, if you would have been putting that same money into the Nike stock, right? So that's more of what I'm gonna be putting out there, right? Because again, that's a big thing in our community, and half the people don't got shit. I mean, half the people that I see today with the labels on don't got shit. that can't even fill up their car at the gas station, putting in $5 and $10, but you got a Gucci bag and belt, like, and the shoes and the hats to match. Like, make it make sense. Please don't be out here looking, you know, looking like you got something and then you really broke as hell on the inside. Like that's actually backwards. It's actually dumb. Especially if you don't have life insurance and then somebody got to do a GoFundMe for you. So you was just in the club popping bottles in your Gucci bag, but you got murdered last night and now we got to do a GoFundMe for you. Like, baby, make it make sense. Okay. That's not smart. So let me take my butt home because I'm tired. I'm rambling with y'all now. Aesthetics Guru, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for your tip tonight. Let me just make sure I didn't catch nobody else, that I didn't miss nobody. It's so much. Oh, the truth says, what's going on, the truth? I didn't even see your comment. Says, I grew up on 63rd and I feel like the gang violence during the 80s is what led to the YNs with switches. Just my thoughts. Okay. I mean, that's your experience. You grew up on 63rd. I grew up off of 77 in Essex. So I grew up on over east in Terrytown, right? So what I saw from my lens and my point of view, we had more fights. It was more guys fighting over there versus shooting up each other, how we got the YNs with the switches now. But you say the gang violence in the 80s is what led to the YNs with switches. Gang violence definitely is still a part of it, right? In the 80s, I was only 9 because I was born in 81. So I really more came up in the 90s. You know, the 90s and the 2000s was really, the 90s was really my era, right? 10 to 19, because I was 19 in 99. So like I said, at that time frame for me, we still didn't have a whole lot of shootings from what I saw. We still didn't have a whole lot of shootings. They still were able to use their fists at that time frame. But I know 63rd, that's why they call it O Block. I don't know where on 63rd. 63rd is a big, long area, right? But everybody area was different, right? It just depends on where you were. But from what I could see today, they definitely different from what it was. Plus, too, when I was coming up, they had structure. I grew up around Stones. My family was GD, but Terrytown was Stones, was mostly Black P Stones, but they actually had some of everything. They had GDs, they had Vice Lords, they had BDs, and they had Stones. But it was like on every corner. It was 4 corners, and there was a different gang on every corner, and they was all able to, still work together. But then at some point, something happened, and stuff started happening, and then we started seeing more shootings and gang violence. But then we also started seeing a lot of the structure go out, right? A lot of the big moles, they locked up, right? So when they started locking up the so-called leaders that were keeping things together, then yeah, you started seeing that destruction. You started seeing everything go down. You started seeing it. You started seeing it a lot. That's one of the things I always talk about. I saw the difference from when we had, as we used to call them big moles. Of course, if they older, that's what they was called. So I saw the difference when we had the actual big moles out there that was standing on business. If they didn't go, if the guys wasn't in school, they would get violated, right? They couldn't be out there if they needed to go to school. They was like, y'all got to be in school. You can't come out here till after 3:00. Right? With certain order and structure. You couldn't sell drugs in front of schools. You couldn't do certain things in front of women and children. Like, it was structure. It was some structure and order. They started taking all of them away. Then to me, now these younger boys, they don't want no authority. They even start splitting up. You got the same gang in the same neighborhood, but they against each other. You got 83rd against 82nd Street. You got 63rd. What Bond say? But I ain't from 63rd. You on the same block, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got worse for sure. It got worse for sure. That we'll agree. It got worse for sure. But ultimately, once again, we still have to come to a term and just admit that, like Kendrick said, they not like us. All of us are not the same. All of us are not alike. And we have to start separating ourselves. All of us are not the same. We are not going to continue. I'm not going to continue to allow everybody to lump all Black people together because we are not the same. We don't think the same. Some of us have different mindsets and aspirations in life. And some of us are just ignorant as hell and ghetto as hell and ratchet as hell. And YNs murdering, killing switches with switches. That's just it. We big different now. We're not the same. We're not alike. And some of our cousins are not like us. So we need to start separating. So that was the whole point that I was getting to when I said that. But yeah, I thought the Super Bowl was good. I thought the halftime show by Kendrick, because that's the only thing that I watched. And I did not watch the actual game, the Super Bowl. I only watched the 13-minute clip here on YouTube. But that was my question that I had said earlier. Was that's how we got to this topic. Because I was like, who watched the game? How did you feel about it? Stuff like that. So I'm going to get out of here because the snow is starting to come down more. And I still got to go home and drive in this crap. So, and I got to come back here in the morning for appointments. So yeah, I'm getting ready to leave. You all have a good night. Tonight was just a blah, blah, ramble kind of night. And again, I appreciate you, Aesthetics, and everyone else who chimed in for the evening. Y'all have a good night. Those of y'all that are outside, be safe. Those of y'all that are at home, stay safe. And I'll see y'all tomorrow when I come on. Bye-bye.